Hello, this is again Vladimir Kuzmin. Today my story is about my one of the last work in Vector company as leading engineer. This is the story about keyboard instrument Arton IK51. Arton stands for our brand name of Vector company. IK51 stands for instrument клавишный. This means keyboard instrument. Number 51. Model 51. Although there was IK50, it was a rack model of the same instrument, but like a tone generator, with all functions of this instrument, but without keyboard. Some words. In the middle of 80s, the digital era came to us, came to digital musical instruments, came to musical instruments at all. At that time, we manufactured already a semi-digital instrument like Maestro. It was not a fully digital instrument, but half digital, only digit controlled oscillators, and further timbre circuits for imitating various instruments. But there was time to start with digital, full digital. But we knew nothing about digital instruments and digital methods of synthesis. Although we already knew some Yamaha instruments, Korg instruments, they already manufactured fully digital instruments. At that time, very popular became such kind of instruments like keyboard instrument with autoaccompanement. This means that one musicians can play and even sing at the same time, with playing on keyboard piano with various timbres, with autoaccompanement, fully arranged, with drums, rhythm and bass. Soviet traders did not trade with foreign instruments. That's why they were not presented, this kind of instruments in the Soviet market. But we sense the need of this instrument because it's very convenient. When people, for example, in club, in discotheque, can play and arrange any tune he wants. Even in restaurants, one player can perform without any other instruments, without any musicians. Only one person can perform any tune. But these instruments were not imported in Russian, in the Soviet market. It was fully empty for this kind of instruments. That's why we decided to manufacture such kind of instrument. But we didn't know how to do this because we didn't know nothing. We knew nothing about full digital musical instruments. I'd like to tell you about the main principle. Every of Soviet principle of working. What I mean? every manufacturer, when he wants to manufacture something new, some new product in the market, in the Soviet market, he first of all present to the Ministry of Trade, Soviet Ministry of Trade, foreign analog of this kind of instruments. And moreover, this new instrument must overcome all its features, slightly, but overcome. It was very difficult, but this was one of the Soviet laws. That's why we asked Ministry of Trade, Soviet Ministry of Trade, to bring for us, to purchase for us such kind of instrument. And we asked them to purchase Yamaha PSR 31 digital instrument with auto-accompaniment. In one day, this instrument appears in our plant and in our laboratory. We gathered all people from all the plant, opened this instrument, saw the two small large-scale integrated circuit, then closed it and put aside, and began to think what to do. I'd like to tell also that for all new product, we have only 2 years from the start and to the start of production. First year, this is the year for research, and second year for prepare documentation to prepare production. That's why this first year we thought very huge how to do this instrument, or even to overcome its features. I'd like to say that PSR 31 was not very. It was simple instrument, but we knew nothing about how it works. That's why we got various literature, various patents devoted to digital synthesis, and found out some fundamental principle. First of all, this principle of time division principle. What is this? This means that all calculations in the full digital instrument are performed not at the same time in parallel, but in series, but one and the same circuitry. This is the main fundamental principle of all digital, full digital musical synthesizers. Another thing, we knew as minimum as three methods of digital synthesizing. These are wavetable, principle PCM or sampling principle, and frequency modulation principle, FM principle. PSR 31 was made on the basis of frequency modulation synthesis through operators, and some part, for example, digital runs PCM principle. What kind of principle to choose? We thought a lot and decided to take all three of them and put it in one instrument, because we have no time in seriously learn one principle, then another, after several years, or the third, and so on. So we wanted to put in one instrument all three, and that's why we tried to check all the three fundamental principles of synthesizing music. So IK51 more heavier than the PSR-31, more complex, more heavier, but it really overcomes PSR-31. First of all, it has digital screen. It has MIDI because PSR-31 had no MIDI. IK51 is the first Soviet fully digital musical instrument with a fully list of full specification of MIDI. The main features are the same, but some are different. Now I will show you all its features and maybe demonstrate its sound. First of all, it has internal loudspeakers, 3 watts, left and right. This is section of orchestra. These red knobs, we can choose orchestral timbres, main timbres. Six groups, 5 instruments in each. These 3 knobs, this is from up vibrator, decay and duo. This is a section with green and blue knobs are for accompaniment. This is bass accompaniment, this is chord accompaniment. You can choose one of 5 bass lines for each accompaniment and 5 bass timbres. Also, you can choose one of 5 chord lines and one of 5 timbre of chord. Then comes the main section, auto rhythm, stereo auto rhythms. This is a table of 16 main rhythms, including rock and roll, heavy rock, and so on, including 2 new, absolutely new. We call it Russian, Ruski, and Lizginka. This means Georgian styles. We can choose one of 5 variants of rhythm. These yellow knobs, synchro, start, stop, and solo. These gray knobs are switched to a bass, chord, drums, autoaccord, and normal keyboard. What is autoaccord? Autoaccord is the same as a single finger, but I didn't like a single finger because 2 words. I tried to give this function or keyboard some name or some more convenient name, and I named it autoaccord. This means chord of arton or artificial chord. One word, very simple and very clever. Autoaccord. This pink are tuned up and down, MIDI, and 3 knobs for tuning volume, or overall volume, accompaniment volume, and rhythm volume. So you can divide, you can choose separate volume for accompaniment and rhythm. Very convenient. One more thing I'd like to tell. You see here, this is power supply, but united with 2 knobs, solo and synchro. So you can choose this, you can stop and then synchro start from a new song, and insert solo by pressing these knobs with legs. I shall not demonstrate all sounds of this instrument. They are very common, but I'll show you some more interesting. For example, how sounds FM synthesis here. FM synthesis is used here only to imitate brass instruments. Look, for brass instruments you need sawtooth waveform and a filter. There is no filter in IK51, but you hear sound of brass, but very similar with sounding with filter. What's more interesting, Russian auto rhythm, because you never can hear Russian rhythm in Yamaha PSR. There is no Russian rhythm. Okay, Russian 1 3 1 3, synchro start, hard accord, or single finger. You can choose variant. And timbre. Also a rhythm line and a rhythm timbre. Also duo. You can press a synchro button and then continue to play. Or press solo. Yes, some samples.